Students, today in this video we will study about simple permanent tissues present in plants. But first question which comes in our mind, what do you mean by permanent tissue? Permanent tissues are the tissues which lose the power of division and take permanent shape, size and functions. And this process by which this happens is known as differentiation. These permanent tissues can be of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are those tissues which have single type of cells, whereas complex permanent tissues are those tissues which have different types of cells. Simple permanent tissues are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, whereas complex permanent tissue are of two types: xylem and phloem. In this video, we will study about simple permanent tissues, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So students, what do you mean by simple permanent tissues? Those permanent tissues which have similar type of cells are known as simple permanent tissues, meaning thereby all the cells are alike. They are similar in shape, size and function. Now let us discuss the first type of simple permanent tissue, that is parenchyma. Parenchyma are the basic packing tissue of a plant. They are present in cortex and pith of the stem and roots and in mesophyll of leaves. Characteristics of parenchymatous cell. The cells of this tissue are thin and living. Second, no deposition on the cell wall. Third, loosely packed with large intercellular spaces between them. Now let us see the diagram. First diagram shows the transverse section of a parenchymatous tissue. Here in the diagram, you can clearly see that the cells have intercellular spaces between them. And the one point which you have always to keep in mind is that these tissues are thin and living. Now in the longitudinal section also, you can clearly see cytoplasm, nucleus, middle lamella, chloroplast and the intercellular spaces. You can see bigger vacuoles present in the plant cell, which is the characteristic of plant cells, and primary cell wall is also present. Students, whenever we are studying about parenchyma, you can take an example of ice cream cone. Whenever you go to shop, you buy your favorite flavor in the cone. You can compare this parenchymatous cell with that ice cream cone because the parenchyma supports and stores food. It is the most abundant type of plant tissue. It fills up the spaces around the other tissues and practically makes up the entire plant, especially in case of herbs. It forms the leaves, flowers and fruits of woody plants. Okay, so what is the main function of parenchyma? It helps in storing the food in the form of nutrients and water, as well as provides support to the plant. So you can easily connect it with the cone of a ice cream. The cone, what does it do? It stores the ice cream inside it. So it stores the food as well as provides support. So you can compare this with the parenchyma tissue. So students, now let us study about the functions of parenchymatous tissue or parenchymatous cells. What is its function? First function, it serves as a food storage tissue. Second function, it provides support to the plant. Third, when the parenchyma cell contains chlorophyll, it performs photosynthesis. Such type of parenchyma tissue is called Collenchyma. Fourth, in aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma cells to give buoyancy to the plants. Such parenchyma is called as Parenchyma. So students, you are not aware that not only food storage and providing support to the plant is the main function of parenchyma, but there are certain types of parenchyma which performs other functions too. If chlorophyll is present, it will help in doing photosynthesis, help in performing photosynthesis, and such parenchyma are known as Collenchyma, and the name is derived from the word chlorophyll. Chlorophyll plus parenchyma becomes Collenchyma. And what is its function? Its function is to perform photosynthesis, most important functions of a green plant. Now second, in aquatic plants, you must have seen that aquatic plants are found on the surface of the water. How does this happen? This happens due to the large air cavities present in parenchymatous cells, and the parenchymatous cells having large air cavities are known as parenchyma. Now students, let us discuss about the second type of simple permanent tissue present in plants, and its name is Collenchyma. These tissues are found in leaf stalks below the epidermis. And what are its characteristics? The cells are thick and living. In the last tissue we studied that cells are thin and living, but in Collenchyma it is thick and living. And what is the thickening made up of? The thickening is made up of pectin, and since there is thickening on the cell walls, so there is no intercellular spaces between the cells. Now let us study about the functions of collenchymatous cells. It provides mechanical support and elasticity, that is flexibility to the plant. What happens, students? When strong wind blows, the plants generally don't break, they bend. And how do they bend? They bend with the help of these tissue known as collenchymatous tissue. It allows easy bending in various parts of the plants. Now let us study its structure from the two diagrams. One is the transverse section and another is the longitudinal section. In transverse section, you can clearly see that there are cell wall thickenings present in the cell wall of the cells of the collenchymatous tissue, and this thickening is made up of pectin. You have to remember the name. The thickening is made up of pectin, and you can clearly see nucleus, cell wall, vacuole, etc. in both the diagrams. Now students, let us discuss the third kind of simple permanent tissue present in plant, and that is Sclerenchyma. This type of tissue is present in stems, around the vascular bundles, and in the veins of leaves. It is also present in hard covering of seeds and nuts. And what are its characteristics? The cells are thick and dead. The cells are thick and dead. The thickening is made up of lignin. You have to remember the name of the chemical whose thickening is present in the cells of Sclerenchyma, and the thickening is of lignin. And what does it do? It acts as a cement and hardens the tissues of the Sclerenchyma. The cells are narrow and long in appearance. You can see spindle-shaped cells. Due to the presence of thick wall, there is no intercellular space between them. Okay, and with the help of two diagrams, you can clearly watch that there is no intercellular spaces because there is thickening, and the thickening is made up of lignin. Okay. Now let us study the functions of Sclerenchymatous tissue. It is known as the chief mechanical tissue of the plant. It makes the plant hard and stiff. Example, husk of coconut. It forms protective covering around seeds and nuts, which give rigidity and flexibility to the plant body. Now students, after studying the structure, characteristics, shape and functions of all the three types of simple permanent tissue present in plants, let us study the differences between them. Let us summarize that so that if any objective question comes in exam, we are able to answer that. Okay, so let us study the differences between parenchyma, collenchyma and Sclerenchyma. Starting from the first point. The cells of parenchyma are thin and living. The cells of collenchyma are thick and living. And the cells of Sclerenchyma are thick and dead. Now second point, no intercellular space is present in parenchyma. Parenchyma, there is intercellular space, whereas as in collenchyma, intercellular space is absent. Whereas in Sclerenchyma also intercellular space is absent. So is it clear to you? Intercellular space is present only in parenchyma and it is absent in collenchyma and Sclerenchyma. Now let us move to the third point. There is no thickening on the cell wall. Since there is no thickening, so there is the presence of intercellular space in parenchyma tissue. Whereas in Collenchyma, the thickening is of pectin. You have to remember the name of the chemical. In Collenchyma, the thickening is of pectin in the outer cell wall. Whereas in Sclerenchyma, the thickening is of lignin on the outer wall. Now let us move to the fourth point, that is related to function. Parenchyma provides, supports and stores food. And earlier also I told you it is the most abundant tissue of the plant cell. Parenchyma. Okay. Now let us move to Collenchyma. It provides flexibility and helps in easy bending of the plants. And third one is Sclerenchyma. It provides strength. It is the major mechanical tissue of the plant. And where is it found? It is found in husk of coconut. It is found in seed coat, and it is found in leaves and stem also. So students, by this comparative study, all the points are clear to you. Hope you understood simple permanent tissue very well. Thank you.